and brotherhood, peace, and education.
At this point, people have sort of dug in for some long-term campaigns, as opposed to in the fall. A lot of it was very event-driven. It was very, let's have this protest. We got to get people out on the streets. Very sort of crisis response sort of feeling. And by now, people have really kind of identified longer-term goals and are working towards those. A few of those would be pressuring China, largely through the Olympics. That's a big issue right now. Working on Chevron's involvement with Burma, that's another big issue. And then also kind of the Eastern Burma is still definitely on the table. That's something that Burma groups are very concerned about.
In September, the major issue on the table was the democracy movement, right? Because the monks, everyone came out onto the streets of Rangoon and in other places to protest the dictatorship. But at the same time, that's what the media has latched onto, and that's what a lot of people are aware of. But it's really the crisis in Eastern Burma that I think we need to get out, and is one of the things we're working on the most, because people just don't realize that this is the longest running armed conflict in the world. 3,200 villages have been burned, and it's not just a matter of the regime cracking down on protesters, but literally carrying out, forced relocation, forced labor, rape, all of these things on the border, in the border areas against ethnic minorities. So that's something that we are continually trying to get the message out about.
Getting there is generally, people talk about it, the need for a tripartite dialogue. To bring together ethnic nationality groups, the democracy movement, and also the Burmese regime, of course, to put them at the same table and be able to talk about the future of the country.
In the months following the Saffron Revolution, I really do fear that attention and that excitement has dwindled.
What do we want? Democracy! Democracy! What do we want? Democracy! Democracy! When do we want it? Right now! Right now! When do we want it? Right now! Right now! UN Security Council! Take action! Take action! UN Security Council! Take action! Take action!
Since September, people all over the world are more aware of the situation in Burma now. And it's gaining momentum, and we are hoping that the momentum won't get slowed down.
I would say before September, last September, Saffron Revolution, we all expected that we would get freedom by September movement. But of course, with the guns and bullets of the military regime, we cannot overthrow them. So it became a little more difficult for us, but nevertheless, our people are not giving up. We have had many revolutions with many protests in the past, including last Saffron Revolution, and there will be more protests here and there.
Can you promise you're gonna say that that's our right? That's our right. So that means doye, okay? Doye! Democracy, yashiye! Doye! 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 Doye! Democracy, yashiye!
Free, free, free Burma!
Free, free, free Burma!
Free, free, free Burma!
Free, free, free Burma!
Save, save, save Burma!
Save, save, save Burma!
At this point, the SPDC, the military regime, has given us a deadline for such as the May referendum and also 2010 as their next election. Meanwhile, they have not recognized 1990 general election, of course, which was won by the opposition group, National League for Democracy, led by 1991 Nobel Peace Laureate Aung San Suu Kyi.
What's happened today is that the SPDC is collecting advance votes
The official date to vote is May 10th in Burma. Of course, in New York, they are asking people to come and vote today and tomorrow.
The main reason they are doing this is they are trying to legalize their hold on power by having a constitution, because they abolished the constitution in 1988, and since then we have no real constitution. They are just like doing whatever they want.
What they're saying is that they're giving amnesty to all the military personnel. It doesn't matter whether they have committed any crimes.
I'm sure that they do know they're like they are going to be like punished for what they're doing.
They're afraid of that. They don't want to. They don't want to be sent to international criminal court.
Save Burma, vote no! Save Burma, vote no! Save Burma, vote no! Save Burma! Free Burma, vote no! Free Burma!
What they're doing is still not reasonable. That is why we cannot accept. What we can accept today is for them to enter the dialogue with our leaders, led by Daw San Suu Kyi.
The only people that will come and vote yes is their own people. Otherwise, I don't think any Burmese who left their country won't vote yes on this referendum at all. Anybody who is patriotic will vote no on this.
How did it feel to vote today?
I feel great. I make my choice. I can make my choice. That is the first time.
Free, free!